Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Moving on, how Harry is forced to admit finally this. I know there are many things around that are still unknown. To be more precise, everything about Harry is still unknown. The public doesn't believe they are truly happy. We don't believe the children Archie and Lilibet are real. We don't know if they really have money or not, etc. But today, the truth is revealed for the first time, and Harry himself admits it. Before we begin, what do you think about having friends like Meghan or Harry? Perhaps when dealing with two dissatisfied ex-royals in the form of Harry and cable TV actress Meghan Markle, you can understand why their team or individuals might want to capitalize on it. But where are we now with this new drama? The thing is, so we'll just wave sorry. The issue is, they've all migrated. Haven't they? It's never a pleasant experience because it requires a lot of hard work. I believe people forget that. Packing up, picking what to keep, moving to a new location, realizing you don't have specific items and must spend extra money. Is it even worse? But, of course, that is exactly what happened to Harry and Meghan. They decided they did not want to be full-time working royals. They only wanted a half experience. You know, the house comes with the job. As simple as that. You know, a fantastic house. It is not a cottage. They call it Frogmore Cottage. If there were a cottage, I would be very delighted. Do you understand what I am saying? It's a huge open space. Apparently, Oprah Winfrey couldn't believe that these two were fighting to live in such a nice environment with all of the protection and privacy available to them. It was also fascinating how Harry and Meghan later announced that they wanted to raise their two children in such beautiful private circumstances. Well, as I previously stated, the job and the house go together. You don't want the job. You don't get the house. You see how it works. This is interesting today, because obviously, 7 or 8 months later, they were ordered to quit Frogmore Cottage, and there has been a lot of pushback. Once again, I feel sad for His Majesty the King. See, his initial plan was to invite his younger brother, the Duke of York, to relocate into Frogmore Cottage. He's dug his heels in, claiming he has a lease. He agreed to all of this with our late monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, and he's not moving. It's quite tricky, isn't it? What do you do after that? But now I've been told that, literally, the twosome in America wants to know why they can't re-rent it. Yes, this is escalating. As you know, Harry is keen to establish a foothold in London, and what was promised were occasional chambers with advance notice in Buckingham Palace. You see how it works. But that wasn't sufficient for Harry. It wasn't good enough for Meghan Markle, because even if they gave her the house, she wouldn't be able to afford security. You see how it works. What's intriguing here is the following. People simply do not care whether Harry or Meghan return. However, it paints a very negative picture of His Majesty the King and the royal courtiers. They keep bringing up the fact that Harry and Meghan paid for considerable restoration. Yes, but when you look at where the money came from, you could think it wasn't from Meghan or Harry's purses. You see how it works. Moving forward, the Duke of York maintains he's not going anywhere. It remains to be seen whether, of course, the Prince and Princess of Wales want to take over that particular residence or move into Royal Lodge. According to a well-placed source, the Prince of Wales is particularly interested in the Royal Lodge as a new permanent residence. But the bottom line is that Harry and Meghan are pushing back, essentially saying, what was the rush? And can we re-rent? And, more significantly, can Harry re-rent? I still do not see Meghan Markle returning under any circumstances. What are your thoughts on the latest disaster involving the royal household? In fact, they haven't lived in Montecito for more than 1 year. She has no orchard. She lies. They also never paid a cent of the $2.5 million in renovations. The then Prince Charles had to pay it back. Stop being delusional. Certainly, no one cares where this toxic couple lives. No royal job work. No royal house. No perks. As for their security, the royal family needs protection from them as they record private occasions. To be honest, Harry treats his father, who has cancer, with the same cruelty he treated his dying grandparents. He is a horrible person. I hope Harry gets deported from America soon and banned from returning. He's into drugs and a pathological liar, in spare and visa applications, etc. Isn't it sad that he has to protect his wife and children from his blood brother and his wife in the first place? When will the Markles ever be called out publicly for all the yuck toxicity? I'm sick of them. At this point, I consider Meghan extremely dangerous. She has shown to be without morals and good judgment. And who could trust them? Even Hollywood knows they are snakes and would spill secrets for money or vengeance. Meghan Markle has repeatedly demonstrated that she values personal gain over integrity, and her actions continue to erode any semblance of trustworthiness. Now, Hollywood, a realm where image is everything, has grown wary of her antics. Even in an industry known for its fair share of opportunists, Meghan stands out as particularly untrustworthy. Her willingness to air private grievances and family secrets in high-profile interviews and memoirs has made her a pariah. The very industry that once embraced her now views her with skepticism, recognizing that her loyalty is as fickle as her public persona. Her recent moves, including attempts to secure lucrative deals and investor interest, reek of desperation. Meghan's ventures into various business endeavors, from children's books to lifestyle brands, are less about contributing something meaningful and more about maintaining her relevance and bank balance. The veneer of compassion and activism quickly wears thin when juxtaposed with her relentless quest for the almighty dollar. It's telling that Meghan's reputation is so tarnished that even her offers to re-rent Frogmore Cottage are met with suspicion. The royal family, weary of her manipulative tendencies, seems reluctant to re-engage on terms that might give her any leverage. Her constant push to maintain a foothold in the UK while decrying the very institution she once sought to dominate smacks of hypocrisy. Meghan's danger lies not in any physical threat, but in her ability to sow discord and manipulate narratives to suit her needs. She has mastered the art of playing the victim while orchestrating scenarios that keep her in the public eye. Regardless of the fallout, her actions are a stark reminder that some people will go to any lengths to maintain their spotlight, even if it means burning bridges and betraying confidence. More precisely, it was their choice to give up being working royals, and the house went with the job, so to speak. They gave up the job because they couldn't have it on their terms. A pair of willful, spoiled brats. However, could the actual working royals feel comfortable with those two living so close to them, especially William and his family? Wasn't she allegedly caught sneaking into Princess Charlotte's bedroom and taking photos? Would they have ended up on Netflix? You got it wrong on this one, Neil. The majority of us would lose respect for the king if he allowed this to happen. They're already low down and really struggling hard to get back up, which will never happen. Meghan's antics have become the stuff of tabloid fodder, yet she persists in her delusional belief that she can somehow reinvent herself as a global influencer and humanitarian. The truth is, her name is synonymous with scandal and self-promotion. Her so-called philanthropic efforts often seem more like calculated moves to regain public favor than genuine acts of charity. The constant need to broadcast her every charitable deed only serves to underscore her insincerity. Even her personal brand, which she so carefully cultivates, is falling apart. The endless stream of interviews, podcasts, and media appearances has done little more than expose the cracks in her carefully crafted facade. Her insistence on airing her grievances publicly only alienates potential allies and deepens the public's skepticism. Each attempt to control the narrative backfires, leaving her looking more out of touch and self-absorbed than ever. What's particularly ironic is Meghan's failure to understand the very audience she seeks to captivate. She preaches about privacy and normalcy while simultaneously orchestrating media blitzes that thrust her personal life into the spotlight. The contradictions are glaring. A woman who claims to flee from the limelight, yet consistently positions herself in its direct glare. Her relationship with Prince Harry, too, has suffered under the weight of her relentless ambition. Once seen as a supportive partner, she now appears more like a puppet master, pulling the strings behind Harry's every public misstep. Their united front cracks under scrutiny, revealing a partnership more fraught with tension and disparity than they would have the world believe. Harry, once a beloved figure, now shares in Meghan's tarnished reputation, a casualty of her ceaseless quest for validation. Maybe Harry and Meghan's daydreams are clouding reality. Can someone please send this video to Meghan and Harry? I have something to say to them. Don't celebrate too soon. If Donald Trump is elected president, I believe Harry will be thrown out of the USA. Don't forget that the only way Harry could have got into the USA would have been if strings were pulled by Biden or Harry lied on his application. He is a known drug taker and has written about this in his book, The Spare. kicked out of America. He will return to the UK with his tail between his legs. I pity the king. He is between a rock and a very hard place. His duty to his people and his duty to his son, no matter how undeserving that son is. Certainly, the royal family would regret ever allowing this couple, even just Harry, back on palace grounds. They have proven they cannot be trusted. Surely the safety of the true royals means more to the king than this miserable couple. If the king wants to let Frogmore Cottage fall into disrepair and crumble to the ground, he can. Just because it's empty doesn't mean traitors are welcome. Allegedly, Harry has said he wants to get in touch with William and Catherine's children, as he can understand them. Those children have been brought up to be very well-rounded, caring individuals, and I believe the two older ones would not be easily influenced by Harry's attempts to get at them. So who is he going to explain his warped sense of non-entitlement to? Louis, who is still very young and could believe his tales of woe is me and my other half. Believe in his young mind all the Harry has inundated us with about his mother and her subsequent death, his terrible fate of being the spare. Although this is just a supposition by me, I feel Louise is far too young to hear all this. Okay, I'm done with these crazy people. They'll have to deal with the Rotten Tomatoes and the screaming matches anyway. Do you agree? Thank you so much for watching my video. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Especially support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Goodbye and see you again.